Next up would be any and all debt agreements. So what we're talking about here is anything that would be reflected on the balance sheet as an obligation of the company in the form of debt. So you'd want to have copies of those agreements, including even equipment lease agreements. We'd want to know, are there any security interests that have been filed? Is the company's intellectual property, for example, collateral under any of these agreements? So it's important because depending on the new investors and where they sit in the capital structure, those debt instruments can have a pretty profound impact on what could happen in the event of a sideways deal. One other thing that's worth mentioning is, to the extent there are any guarantees, either by the company or by any individual behind the company, officers, directors, that should be disclosed as well, because those guarantees can be extremely important and it could impact in some way decisions made by the company that could be relevant and material to investors. So what am I really talking about here? I was involved with the startup in a Nordic country where the debt in connection with a former entity that had filed bankruptcy was guaranteed by the founder and by a director. That company was kind of like a Phoenix company, but as part of the Phoenix, the new beginning, the debt was transferred and guaranteed. And it turned out it was a lot of money. When that company ran into some liquidity issues, that debt continued to be a serious overhang and a shadow, a dark cloud really, on the people who had guaranteed that debt. So if those kinds of obligations exist, it's important to understand that they do exist, because they can impact decisions that people make at the board level or at the shareholder level.